All right. We're back. I am Ben Knight, here joined once again by your co-host, Mr. Dustin Lee, Mr. 40 Time. Welcome to another episode of Red Hill Racing Podcast. What's happening, Dustin?
Just a wonderful Tuesday, spending some time talking in the microphone.
Oh, yeah. We got to get some awesome listeners, something to get through the work week with. This one's going to be short, y'all. For multiple reasons.
Biggest reason is our race got washed the hell out. That's what.
Not safe for work. Yeah,
I'm still sour about it.
Yeah, I am too, man. Not safe for work. We're gonna cuss. That fucking sucked, man. I'm just gonna put it out there. That sucked.
And I mean, I'm not mad at Jason done all he could do in the situation that he was dealt. Like, it ain't a series disheartening. It's just pissed off that I'm tired of our races getting messed up by rain. And it's pissed off that when people don't want to finish the race, they'd rather just split. That just, oof. Like, I want to see who wins. I want to see who gets there's trophies to give out, and then nobody gets them. It's a bummer.
All right, let's pause 1 second. I'm gonna run through our sponsors real quick because they're important and our listeners, and we're gonna dive straight back into it because we're just gonna fill up our time with that. We're gonna get probably
we're gonna do a lot of bitching and moaning.
We're gonna do a little heartstring pull in there, which we can't pull too hard on Dustin's, but
no, mine's broke.
Oh shit. Shout out to Worldwide Bearings, MPS Racing, Penske Racing Shocks, MTC Engineering, Platinum General Services, Schnitz Racing, Manchester Mize, Montgomery Motorsports, Hard Times Parts and Service, Knight Marketing Group, Energy Coil, University of Wind, and BMF Motorsports. We appreciate the support of our sponsors. Shop with them. They're the best. And we appreciate you, patrons, Patron drinkers, all the subscribers. We just decided we're tired of lollygagging. Next week it's on. We are going to pick another big giveaway winner. So you have 1 week to sub up if you for some reason haven't, and tell them, Dustin.
You better quantity 5, man. Like, I'm about tired of it saying it. Quantity 5, quantity 10. Shit, be a a line, lead the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So next week we will throw everybody on the random wheel. And whoever gets picked, they get to choose between a Kevin Manchester Mine short neck frame service. And it's top notch. So if you're in need of that, Kevin will hook you up. Or you can get a carbon fiber tank shell from Mr. Mike Burkhart and BMF Motorsports. So 2 phenomenal prizes. I think they're right at around $600-700 value. So if you're only, I mean, you can win it for $1 or hopefully 5. So anyways, that's
and every time I hear BMF, I just think about a motherfucker.
I know, right? It's almost like Banff back in the day.
That's the past. we need to create something new. Me and you need to do that.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not racing for it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not.
I'm not partaking in any more of that, but I wouldn't care to help run it and organize it and see if somebody else can win.
I know what we're going to do one day.
Let's see who the new sheriffs of town is, because me and you, we retiring from that. We're done with that.
You and I think, could put on like a big money bike bracket race. And if we both ran it, I think it'd go really well.
Yeah, I wasn't racing it if I was out putting it on.
No.
Now, if I was not putting it on, I would absolutely racing it.
But we might get more people if we don't.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, everybody said don't apologize, don't worry about it. That's whatever. All right. So thank you to everybody who subscribed. The support, it really does mean a lot. We've told y'all before, we're not getting rich, but it keeps the lights on, and we're just glad to provide.
It's paying to keep itself rolling, that's for sure.
Yeah. But when y'all come up to us at the track, a lot of people did again this weekend. It's really helpful and it's meaningful because it gives us a boost and it keeps us rocking because we're nearing 40 episodes and basically every week Dustin and I are taking another 2 to 3 hours out of our time where we're already busy and it's just good to get positive feedback and the support. So we're gonna keep it rocking for y'all. All right, back to XDA.
Can I start bitching again?
Yeah. Let's just go. All right, where should we start? I will reiterate what you already said. this is not a knock at XDA.
Absolutely not. They done
set
what
the
they
gold
could with what we
standard.
had, right?
Yeah.
Like we were dealt to pack
cards.
15 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. And we stuffed it in there and we got through 7.5 pounds of it. That's what happened. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, you know, it would have been super duper hard to do without the curfew and without the oil downs and, you know, without having to put cones back up. But I don't know if we could have got it done regardless. Either way, it just was.
Could have got a lot closer, and then
it was too much.
would have been different.
Yeah,
we're going to give y'all the playback in reverse. Okay, so as Dustin already kind of said, as most of y'all know, the forecast was pretty bad for Sunday, which was weird because
it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't,
because I look at weather. You know, Ben don't look at weather, but I look at weather for the temperatures. Like I want to know the temps to make sure my bikes have the right gearing. Yada yada yada. Yep. Well, of course, when you look at that, you look at the forecast, right? And the first week it was like 40-something% Friday, Saturday. You know, but Sunday was the best day. You know. And then by the time we get there, even when we're there on Thursday and Friday, it was like Monday was going to rain, but everything was looking a little better. And then all of a sudden, you know, Friday, Saturday was safe, and Sunday was going to be 50-60% pretty much all day.
And Jason and his staff, you know, they're always proactive. They're not going to sit around and say, well, we'll see. So they jumped right into it, and I guess, it was Friday night, right? So they're like,
they changed the entire program.
I mean, they had a completely new schedule done and pushed out, and here's what we're doing.
I mean, we got rid of, you know, the pros just got 2 qualifiers. We ditched the bracket bash for the sportsmen and went straight into racing, you know, on Saturday versus qualifying and then a bracket bash. And it realistically was going as planned, and the Saturday was going at a normal pace, like it always does. Saturday felt like Sunday, like the way the pace was going, but then it just got to where
back to back to back, like
it was just
downs and stuff.
Everybody kept fumbling, like, you know, and not the series, like just mistakes were being made, like racers, you know, having failures. I mean, believe it or not, a sportsman racer took out the mile an hour in the finish line cold in the quarter mile. Have no idea how they pulled that off. Just mistakes were made, and I'm not saying that it was that one person's fault, but all those together collab could have maybe got us another hour or maybe 2, and that would have really maybe decided the fact of where we was ending the race and what would have happened. Maybe not splitting it, but finishing it in Maryland, because you have less. And I'm trying to say this nicely: less people that want to split. Like my initial thought was, you know, less people that's afraid to not want to finish the race. You know, but there was some there that couldn't be at Maryland, and I get it.
Yeah. So here's what happened: is that at the end of the day or at the end of the night, we hit curfew. I mean, there's no leeway there. VMP is surrounded by like a RV campground. If you've never been,
they own it.
Like, do they what?
From what I understand, the landowner that owns the track owns a campground, but the landowner also got sued by the campground people for noise. Yeah.
Well, how's that even possible?
Guess who knew that information? You know who knew that. You damn right. Like he's one told me that.
Okay, well that kind of didn't make sense, but regardless, I mean, like VMP is kind of not in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's stuff around it. It's, you know, I don't know, but
there's a beautiful campground right there. It's got a pond.
It's
I mean, like I'd camp there. You know what I mean? It looks great. You know,
regardless of why they have an 11 o'clock curfew and there's no stretching it apparently. So we hit that, and Jason called everybody to the tower afterwards. He said everybody that's still left, and you know, for the sportsmen, it was quite a few. The pros were able to get a decent majority done. But Jason said, look, you know, the weather's bad for tomorrow. We're not racing tomorrow. You know, he didn't even say we're going to try and get up and look. So, which was a little weird because, like, I finally looked at the weather literally Saturday evening. And now I'm not putting faith in my phone, but it didn't really show me anything until Sunday afternoon. quite a few people said the same. And then some people said like, no, it's going to start raining 1 o'clock. And some said in the morning. So anyways, but Jason said, here's what we're going to do. Or he said, you guys have two options. We're going to take a vote. We can split the purse and everything right now and call it done, or we have to have a majority to continue in Maryland. So, I was up there, Dustin and I were up there for the sportsman racers. I was in top sportsman and pro ET still. And Dustin was in pro ET and 560.
Yeah, I was in pro ET and 560, and it was just like nine or seven of us in 560. It was very disappointing that out of 7 people, we couldn't get 4 that wanted to. I'm gonna say it. Jimmy Miller, I knew that they wasn't going. I'm like, man, you could have raised your damn hand.
Yeah, to finish this race. Jimmy's our boy, but we was talking shit to him afterwards. For sure. And we know he'll probably listen, or we think he'll listen. So
I don't care. Like, raise your hand.
Saying, yeah. If that's what you want to do, raise your hand. So and it is what it is. Everybody's different. Dustin, I don't think we're mad at any other racer. It's just like
no, it's just disappointing because we have race and win. We travel all that way, and I don't, even if it's not me winning, I want to see who the hell won. Like, I want somebody to be in the winner's circle, holding their trophy, smiling, cheese, click, roll on. And you're talking, we do this all year. And some people, there's point stuff going on that they, could have prevailed on the situation.
And that's what was most disappointing to me, right, is that this is a 5-race season. So if you're trying to compete for points, there's not a lot of room for error. Now, that being said, like, okay, I can go back and say, well, I messed up, right? I lost first round top sportsman twice this year, twice out of 4 races. I won the other race. And then I was doing all right on Saturday. I mean, I arguably beat one of the toughest racers I know of. In my mind, the best racer ever is my co-host in the second round. So, I was feeling
caught me slipping.
We'll get to that because he also beat me over the weekend. But like we were down to 8 in top sportsman, 3 of us raised our hands. And like Dustin said, I was a little disappointed because there's not a lot of room to make up points. We got 1 race left. So that I was disappointed in that. And Dustin and I, like, we're both on the same page. We go to the racetrack to see who's holding the trophy at the end.
I've growed out of I don't want to say growed out because I do want to get to 50 so I can quit even attending all the races. But the reason Dustin goes to races is I want to try to win the money. That's what drives me at this point. Like, used to, it was like I wanted to win all the championships I can. Well, now it's like I just want to leave there with more money than I spent getting there. If I can do that, then that means racing is paying for itself and benefiting me. So when all that happened, everything got chopped up, and it didn't even pay for my gas. And I was still in potentially $6,500 worth of winnings, realistically, maybe 7, whatever. But it's just like, bro, there's a big opportunity here that's getting chopped up, and we had the opportunity to finish it at Maryland.
Which I was surprised at that. That it did kind of surprise me because there's
I don't know how we were going to fit it in there.
That's what I was going to say. There's some logistics. I have all the faith in the world that Jason.
Well, realistically though, the biggest class would have been like Pro ET, right? And there was like 30 of us, counting the top sportsman fallovers.
Count us in, which I'd already, and maybe Jason would have did something where. I don't know if he would have did this, but like, for instance, I would have been okay to just do top sportsman and qualifying. So that's 2. There would have only been 1 round left. We get 2 qualifiers anyways, pair us up, and we go. But anyways, it didn't matter. It didn't happen. There was no sportsman class that voted.
You couldn't really do that for the fact that what if you rolled way out of it and then didn't qualify for top sportsman that day?
Well, yeah, I mean, but I was just trying to come up with some type of thing. Yeah. I mean, they would have got it done. Hell, as much as
even if there was 30 bikes left, you're talking 30, 15, 7, 4, so 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, we could have knocked that out in 5 rounds.
Well, I tell you, probably what would happen is we probably would have just been finishing Saturday, no bracket bash.
So exactly, that's fine because bracket bash. I mean, I like it, and to be honest, we've only got to finish it 1 time this entire year, so. it's kind of a stranger to us. And I think the time we did finish it, you won it, right?
Like you did Sunday morning too.
Yeah, so you're the only person to even win a bracket bash this year.
Look at that. That's like 2 years in a row. I basically have won 2 championships that didn't exist, because I definitely would have won the gamblers race last year championship if there was.
I think this year, man, believe it or not, I might be doing pretty good in the gamblers race championship runoff. Like I've not won anything, but I've been going some rounds. You know, I've been getting around the world on that deal. I got the monkey off my back, and when I lose now, it's just because I make, just racing mistakes, but,
so yeah, there was no sportsman categories choosing to finish at Maryland, but, it is what it is. Let us know your
I can't
thoughts.
remember if there were 7 or 9 left in 560, but it is very frustrating that there wasn't half those people that wanted to race.
I mean, same deal with
I know me and Rico for sure raised our hand. Yeah. I mean, I know you and Robin wanted to finish it because me and Robin was talking. So I'm like, man, like what's everybody's brains thinking? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it is some people not, I'm different, right? When I leave the house, I know that I'm going to spend roughly $1,000 and I'm not getting it back. But some, I'm basically in my mind just throwing it away. And then if I win money, cool.
Right.
But others could be different than me. Others could be different than me and be like, if we split this and I get, let's just say Pro ET was what, $300 or something. Okay, well, that'll help me get back home and help me with some stuff next week for the next race. So, I'm not dogging the people that didn't want to finish it, but I thrive off of seeing who wins something. Like it's the competitiveness, right? Like that's what makes me work. Is like I want to win. Like I want to be the winner.
What you and I are discussing right now is just like, it's the basis of racing. You want to see who's going to win. Like otherwise, why would you race? It's not like you roll dice every round. Like, hey, we're gonna, do one more round or do this. Like you race to see who's the last man or woman standing, and that is what it is. So it definitely was disappointing that there wasn't a majority in any class. So I'm a little confused with that because obviously, you and I are identical.
I'm disappointed in my fellow racers.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What you just said is like and every racer should, but I know you and I do. We accept we're losing X amount of money when we pull out the driveway. Now, that being said, you and I also, going back to everybody saying, don't be afraid to say it. But the fact of the matter is you and I, a lot of times, come back with more or at least,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that when I leave the house to go to a race, I feel like I have just as good a shot to win that race as anybody else there. And if you ain't got that vibe, then your competitive side of you ain't what's going to the race for. You're going there for other reasons, right? Because I mean, you're probably the same way. When we load up, we're going racing. We want to win. Like that's just the way it is. I mean, now. At this point, I don't get upset when I don't win, or I don't get mad when things don't go my way because I'm so used to there's so many highs and lows in this sport. You just can't expect it. You just got to go and let Jesus take the wheel and see what happens. Now, everybody knows I'm not in the greatest health right now. So this weekend, I was really, honestly, just trying to survive. Like that's one perk of the rain out on Sunday was I knew that I could rest, get up Sunday morning and drive home without pushing myself really hard to make it home Sunday night. Like I was that was my lemonade from the lemons that we got was okay. Well, I get to go on home. I don't have to do this crazy, ridiculous drive by myself, tired with heart issues. That was the thing that it was the silver lining.
Well, that and they made the right call. I mean, call it.
It was raining.
Call it whatever. Yeah. We woke up. It started raining. It rained until I left the first time. I had to go back and get my camper. Could we have got that race finished kind of like the last Maryland? Yeah, probably. But did everybody want to wait around till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday again? I'll be honest. I didn't want to wait all day for that, and
I was thinking like a noon. Like if we were going to wait, like noon would be our cutoff. Like if things ain't going our way by noon, then we gotta shut her down and get out of here. Because
for sure
we all got to drive. I mean, for me it was it's 7 hours, depending on how long stops take. Roughly 7 hours, which is a pretty good drive. I mean, for you it's like 2.5, right? So
Yeah,
That's gravy.
I came back and got my camper, so I did.
You
the
got to do
whole
it twice,
7,
so
8.
you got to do it, same as I did, basically.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was that portion of the race. So, let us know what you're thinking. If you didn't raise your hand, feel free to tell us why, or say we're greedy, or whatever you want. We want to hear some feedback.
Hey, you can call me whatever. I mean, my mind ain't changing. I just wanted to race and see who won. I want to see who won, the race. Like, there's trophies with the class sponsor and what class it is on it for a reason, to give it to somebody. And now Jason gets to keep them. I don't like that for next year. Like, I want somebody gets them. You know what I mean? Like, go to arm wrestle for them or go up there and make laps for it or something. My kid loves trophies, and I think it's good memories.
Yep. So let's get into the results we do have. How about that?
Really, we only finished one race for us. Was the Gamblers.
Well, we'll go through all of the ones that were finished, and the first one was the Gamblers race, which was actually, so a couple things here real quick. Wow, I just pulled that up, and the photo they used, I look mad.
Yeah, look at me, I'm all blurry because I was making jokes.
Yeah, and I look just mad. All right. So, all right, this was cool. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I feel like you and I haven't raced each other much in the last couple of years that I recall. I mean,
the last time me and you raced, I think, was 560 one time, and then this Virginia last year.
Yeah,
West Virginia last year we raced.
It's not a race. Now, I agree with that. Last year, that's the one that stood out to me as we raced in the Pro ET final at the Virginia race last year, which was cool.
You give it to me. It wasn't a race.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It was cool that we got to race.
I returned the favor, top sportsman this weekend, basically.
I went way red then. But anyways, third round of the Gamblers race, me and my boy got a race. I'm not going to go into all the details.
Hey, the point of this is I was still in at the third round, guys. I was still first point, and I wasn't on Trunchable. I was on Old Faithful.
That's the first point. So we had to race. I'm not going into all the details because y'all are probably going to get tired of it. But this is University win stuff. But Dustin knows exactly what was going on with me. I knew it. We literally knew how the race was going to play out before.
I don't know. Did you know how I was going to race?
I knew exactly what was going to happen. Here's the thing. In my mind, I knew I just had to cut a good light. And when I left, I'm telling you what, I could have promised y'all it was 00. Long story short, it was not 00. Now, I'm not mad at my light. I was 48, but that's a little bit of a far cry from 008.
Hey, it's better than 07s that I've seen you win rounds with. So.
Right. Yeah, I deserve that.
We're getting better on that. We're getting better on it. This year. See, we helped you. I helped you.
Yes, you did. You and Squirrel.
Constructive criticism.
Exactly. Just beat it in my head. So anyway.
What was I, though?
Mr. 40 time was 15. He wasn't going to give me nothing.
Man, when I let that lever go, I was like, oh, it took my breath away. I was like, oh, God. I don't know if it was my heart skipping or actually the light. You know what I'm saying?
That said, it was still a pretty good race. I mean, Dustin obviously won with his starting line advantage. He broke out by 3,000. I broke out by 1,100. So,
I don't know.
Easy race for Dustin, though.
I probably killed like 6 mile an hour, and then you probably killed like 8 in that run.
No, it wasn't really that much. I was literally killed 2 mile an hour. You were going.
You usually only run 150 normally.
With that wind on that day, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I usually run 150, but that day it was like 148-ish because of the wind.
So. Yeah, so you killed 5, I killed 2. It was a good race. I wased mad about it. I did exactly what I wanted to.
Something where I wasn't feeling real good, like the round before, first round, like everybody knows that I'm a breaker, a heavy breaker if I need to. And I didn't feel well enough to race that way. If I can't explain it. I didn't feel in the condition to race aggressive. Right. Yeah. I couldn't race aggressive because I didn't know if I was going to respond or react to everything as good as I needed to. So I was racing conservative. And I really, first round, I done a bad job of racing. I think I took like a 03 stripe. But I didn't touch the brakes. It was just throttle control and maybe my rear brake a little. And, which is odd I changed my whole racing style because I was having dizzy spells and just things. I wasn't right. And I didn't want to go out there and do something stupid and get myself in a pickle, at the racetrack. So, I mean, realistically, I'm pretty pleased with the Gamblers race just for the fact that I got by second round. I mean, that monkey is plumb off my back now. Now, I think at Maryland, would I go to the semis? And then now I lost in the quarters. So I got to do a little better. Now, in my defense, Virginia screwed me on the Gamblers race 4th round loss, because if you've ever raced at VMP at like 6 o'clock in the evening or 7.
And Dustin's not saying the track. He's just saying like
no. The Mother Nature, like God, puts the sun when the sun sets, it's behind the tree. So when you're looking at the tree, it's like the Great Black Wall, and I couldn't locate the 3rd yellow. And saying that, the sun wasn't even as bad. Like there's a little overcast, so it wasn't as bad as I've seen it, but it was still bad enough that I couldn't locate the 3rd amber.
Messed up your routine.
Yeah, I was late. Yeah, I was 07. I pulled a Ben lot. But the thing is Ben can win with that lot, and I can't. But one of our students, he was 022 on me, and he went one above, I think, and I broke out. I was trying to feed him stripe, and it didn't work out, and I couldn't race aggressive and health stuff. But I am 100% pleased with my choices and my awareness, especially me not feeling good. Like I knew when I made a mistake, I knew it. When I done something good, I was aware of it. So I feel like that me not being 100%, I think maybe me not being 100% also made me notice things more. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah. So we had a good race. Then the next round, as you mentioned, got beat by University of Wynn member. He's been on fire, Dylan Clevenstein. I mean, this was actually his 6th consecutive final, not at XDA, but he had been racing locally. And also, actually, the last time he's out was at a VMP bracket race, one of the regulars. So he's been before that, he was 5 finals, 4 wins. So he went to his 6th final. He faced our good buddy, the Squirrel, the Jimmy Miller.
He's like a supervisor of the University of Wynn, or like a substitute teacher potential.
Jimmy has helped us out from time to time. We can't keep him in there. But
he's a good racer and a good friend of ours.
Yeah. So it was Dylan and Jimmy in the final. Not a bad race. It was 050 Squirrel to an 080 Dylan. And Dylan afterwards said, he told us he was struggling a little bit to find the tree that day, and so
he said his best light was on me. I'm like, wonderful.
Hey, but he knew who to step up against. He also, I looked though, he was actually 026, 026 in the second round. So he had some luck in some good rounds. When he missed the tree, he had some red lights. The 3 times that you would say he missed, but I was telling somebody too, like a lot of times when Dylan was leaving second, by the way, on those ones. But, a lot of times when somebody is leaving before you and they go red, it kind of messes up your concentration because you'll see it. Anyways, the Squirrel and Dylan met in the finals, 050 to an 080 light. Squirrel was 3 above and Dylan was 3 above. So it was just right there. So good race. We were excited to have a school member, especially one that's been on fire, literally 6 straight finals, 4 wins. And then to see Jimmy win, that's cool. He's been racing really good all year, and he catches some shitty luck sometimes. So cool to have the Squirrel and being his winner.
Yeah, he kept saying I needed that because he's had a few rough races, but he's also won at some local race a few weeks ago. Like
he runnered up in a big car race.
Let me tell you something real quick.
Yeah, you knew that, right? Like a 3,000 to win car race he runnered up in. That's of anybody, how hard it is to even go to a final of a car race.
But here's the problem. So when you are a good racer and you race well and you have been successful, some people can't handle the bad races. Let me tell you something. You're going to have that humble pie. Like you're going to eat it. Whether you like it or not, you have to be acquired taste of the humble pie. You can't expect to go out. If you expect to win, you're going to be pissed off all the time because nobody wins all the time. Like, I've had a good track record of racing and winning races, but you guys got to remember, if I go to a race and I run 4 races that weekend and I win 1, I lost 3 times.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so in my mind, I suck. Like I lost 3. I mean, now if I could go to a race and enter 4 races and win all 4 all the time, then I would really be happy. But I can't nail that in. I ain't that, I ain't there yet. One day I might, probably never. I'll probably retire before I get there. Especially with my heart condition. Who knows what that'll be. The way my day's going today, guys, it could be bad. Like my wife backs into my truck this morning. I don't care about my truck. It's my work truck. Messed her bumper cover up. Kid comes home from school. Brain farted her test last week. So they're going over that as we're up here doing this right now. It's just like, man, I hope I get good news Thursday. Hope this don't keep going.
Yeah. You got a lot of people supporting and talk about that. I mean, heck, that sometimes,
man, like I didn't realize how many people give a crap about the old hillbilly.
Yeah, you got plenty of love coming your way.
There was it's pretty cool. My buddy Tommy Drennan come by and give me some ice cream midday because he had actually ordered some Astrolinks, and I said, "Hey man, I'll have them." Demi was bringing them for me, so they're going to be at the track. I was like, "You owe me this much money or a snow cone." And usually at VMP there's a snow cone vendor. Well, they wasn't there, but he come by and he paid me for the links and he brought me ice cream, and that was cool. And of course, I think Tamara, she must have messaged you because you were on me pretty hot. She keep an eye on me, so I'm pretty sure Tamara messaged you.
The boss messaged me and the Amish Outlaw and said, "You better keep a tight eye on my man."
Yeah. So you guys, of course, I saved Spencer's life this weekend, so was you over there for that?
No,
oh, dude,
is this a
Boo took him some steak?
Story?
Yes, Boo took him some steak, and me and Boo was hanging out Saturday night, and Boo made some steak, and I put a piece on a piece of bread and was eating it, and he goes, "Let's take some to Spencer." Actually, said my teammate, because he's grudging with Spencer now. We go over there, and Spencer's like, "Oh man, that's good." He's eating it, and all of a sudden I look up, and Spencer's beating himself in the chest, going, he was legit choking on a piece of steak, And I was about to chuck him up, and try the Heimlich, which I don't know if I would have done it successfully or not, but I was going to try.
No offense, you'd be a little bit short to do that.
I might be perfect height for him, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like to reach down, just reach across. But anyway, the time I was about to snatch him up from behind, he I got it. He swallowed it down, and he drank some water. I'm like, bro, he's standing there a little bit later, and he was like, man, he's shaking his head. I was like, you're still pale. You still look like you are halfway choking. I was like, man, you choked on Boo's meat.
Oh, man.
But yeah, he's supposed to keep eye on me, and I'm over here trying to save his life. Megan was like, wow, you were on it. I was like, I don't think anybody else realized that Spencer was about to pass out. He was choking to death. But,
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's not a good story to have, but it's a racetrack story that we'll have forever.
Yeah. So we kept to
you disappeared Saturday.
Right. It's hard to tell. I don't even know. I have no clue.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. I'm not going to say who, but I sold the bar back that I've just purchased. Someone made me an offer on it, and I took it. Right now, with my situation, I didn't think it was a great idea to have something else for me to work on. I was like, this can wait. I can do this later. So he made an offer. I took it, and him and his wife checked on me. Actually, he's called me every day this week. Actually, he called me this evening. I missed it because I was busy, but he's checked on me. Just health, making sure I'm all right, because I'm counting the days down to Thursday. And I think everybody else is too. The bummer was I thought it was Wednesday, and then I got home and realized it was Thursday. Man. But there was a lot of people keeping an eye on me, and there was a lot of times everybody asked me if I was okay, and I said yeah, and I wasn't. But we'll figure it out. There's really good doctors, and worst case, I was telling you, in the winner's circle for squirrels pitchers. I'll just have to get on the list for a heart if I need one. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I got to do what I got to do. So hopefully it don't come to that. But I'll sell the farm if I got to take care of my kid if I need to. But anyway,
there's plenty of people with you and their thoughts, and we got wishes coming. So we know you probably get some more answers, and you'll just feel better come Thursday.
Oh yeah, I just want to know what I'm up against. Yeah. That's all. Is this going to be a tough round? Am I racing Ben or am I racing a rookie? You know what I mean? Really, that's how I look at it. What kind of round what kind of race is this going to be? That's how I look at it. Is it going to be, just be decent, or I need to be trip zip? We'll see. We'll figure it out. I can't be worried too much. I'll run myself crazy. So I just try to ignore it which is hard to do, but that's what I try to do right now.
Yeah.
So we were down to what? So, I think you guys went to second round at Top Sportsman, which was 16 bikes. So you fell to 8.
We were down to 8, yeah.
Yeah, so you kicked my butt in that one.
Oh, yeah. So I forgot about that. We said we were going to touch on that real quick. And I do want to run through because we did have some winners. They were mostly in the pros, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So
I guess, whatever.
Dustin and I, so Dustin, as you guys know, he's always setting his bikes up beforehand and making sure he's right for Sunday. And that's smart. It is. So Dustin had everything set up for a cooler day on Sunday. Well, as you know, we qualified and raced on Saturday. So
well, I mean, that really wasn't affected my qualifying. I mean, I could have left the bikes turned up for Saturday and then it would have been on the edge of wheeling and stuff on Sunday. So I just turned it down so it worked for Sunday. So qualifying, I was slower, basically.
Well, yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I was getting at. That was my point because all of a sudden, we both won first round and we were racing each other second round, which it's not even been close to that all year. Usually,
normally we're on opposite sides of the ladder.
Well, yeah, because usually I usually qualify. I might have qualified third every race, but I'm usually top 5 and you're usually top 10, it seems like, or at least, in that. Anyways, you qualify a little. So I told Dustin all of a sudden, I'm like, damn, we got to race each other. So, well, so here I am, last thing I want to do is get beat by my best friend twice in a row, 2 days in a row. So, but I was running really well. It was a different bike and it was a different day. So I just did the same thing. I said, I'm going to try and lay down a good package and Dustin's going to have to beat it. And luckily,
I was at a huge disadvantage because I don't like this sitting around 6-hour shit between rounds. And I jinxed myself too because we sit around from our last qualifier to first round for 5 and I damn near nailed my dial in. Well, then we sit around for 6, but the weather change was so drastic that it just destroyed my plan. Now, that ain't why I lost. I actually raced that part fine, but I missed a tree. What was I on the tree? Okay, so I was 058 and you were 42 or something?
41.
Okay, so
I made sure
17,000 separation right off the hit,
which isn't crazy. I mean, almost 200.
Realistically,
that's a winnable race.
That's right. Yeah.
So I told myself again, I said, just lay down a decent pass. You've been making good passes, running good times and hitting the tree decent. So just do it again. So when I left, I honestly had to tell myself, like, don't get excited because I thought it was same as the day before. I thought it might've been teens or 00. I said, nah, you don't get excited. You probably didn't hit that. And we went down through there and, I don't know. I trusted the bike. The bike was running good. And, I basically broke out by 4th hour and you were, like you said, you were a hair late, but then the bike really picked up on you. And
oh man, when that thing left, my first thought was like, oh bro, I missed a tree. And then my second thought was, this sumbitch is flying. Like it was way quicker to the 60 foot than it had been. I knew immediately. I was scrubbing the brake pedal at 1,000 foot before I even let off the gas because I knew where I knew it was
killed what,
going.
12, 13 mile an hour, 15?
The next, it would have went, it would have went like 170. So I killed 11 ish. Yeah. And most of that was probably like I got off the throttle pretty early, like earlier than I've ever had. But I knew I had to get rid of some stuff. Like it was too fast, and I actually done a good job. I took 01 stripe. Like I'm not mad about. I was aware, right? So when I left, I was aware that I was a little late. I was aware that the bike was going faster than it had been all weekend. And then I was aware that you were coming and I closed the stripe up. So I actually, in my opinion, raced very well. I just missed a tree and it made me ineligible. Now, if you wouldn't have been a double breakout, like if you could have been like 1 above or 2 above, it would have given me more of a rate, like a window. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the double breakout's really what pushed me, through this is not really podcast talk, but that's really what, like, my
bike was running good and I was running pretty much dead on. So
yeah, your bike had been dead on like 6 passes in a row for some miracle reason. The tuning, you done some changes in the tuning and whatever you done, it liked it or it's just that good that day. Because I've had days where my motorcycles are great and then there's days where I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
It was funny. It was literally almost to the T the same race from the day before on 2 different bikes for both of us, but we was flip flop.
Yeah. I mean,
we both executed.
My lot was worse than yours the day before, but yeah, exactly. We knew I wasn't misled though. Like I knew that I didn't have a good. Yeah.
No.
Well, what I'm saying though is I knew that I didn't have a good lot, and you thought you did have a good lot.
Yeah.
I was aware of that. I made a boo boo, and I don't want to blame it on it, but dude, I also put that damn amber shield on, and that was the next hit. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't know if that was it, but then saying that, I go up after you beat me in Pro ET and just destroy the tree because I was super duper focused. You know, I was like, this ain't going to happen again. You know. And now, if I was aware of the situation, I wouldn't even give a crap if I knew we weren't going to go another round. But, you know, it is what it is.
So we got to race each other twice. They were both really good races, kind of where we're at and what we would expect. So let's we got a school call tonight, so we're going to go through the rest of the results. We want to shout out some the winners we did have. I'm going to start with the Grudge. Saturday is kind of, Saturday's when Grudge gets their spotlight, and we're cool with that. So they were able to finish, I think, everything. Of
course, they always do.
Jordan Angelo,
you guys feel the anger in that?
On the setup, he took the win over Dark Knight. And then that was all Motor Bulls. And then Tommy's Motorsports DMV Bulls. We had Mr. Kill Bill on Mob Ties, beating Antonio Patton on Big Dirty. Looks like they were both in the winner's circle photos, so I'm not as familiar with Grudge. I guess they're teammates or buddies. Then AP Nitrous Bulls, we had Matt Dozier beating Kill Bill, Kill Shot over Show Enough. Then moving on to the Boosted Bulls, we had Mr. Chris Edwards on 99 Problems beating Craig Elliott on Cottonmouth. And by the way, our buddy Frankie Stotts was back in action. He did not have the weekend he wanted on Ready Whip, but it was good to see Frankie again.
It was good to see the stash walking around.
Yeah, for sure. And then that was all of the Bulls. This ATV shootout thing, they had Tevin Huntley beating. I'm gonna mess this name up, so I'm just gonna say Tevin Huntley won. Then we had, let's see here, Superstock one. This was cool.
This guy was our neighbor, bro.
Huh?
He was our neighbor.
I know him. I've talked to him plenty of times.
He kept coming over and just asking about, like, can you hear that? Because he couldn't hear real good. Probably because the big block generator across the way right beside me. Don't get me fired up on that again. But
skim right past that.
Anyway, he kept coming over going, you hear my class? He's like, I'm going to get suited up. I'm like, bro, like when you hear your class, don't get suited up. Just right up there, And he was super duper nice guy. And then when I seen the results, I'm like, man, my damn neighbor won Superstock. I thought that was pretty cool.
And that was Tim Cottrell. Hopefully I said that right. But I'm looking at the picture, and I know I've talked with Tim before. He's super familiar.
He was 3 trailers down from you, dude. Like, I know you did.
I'm saying even before this race, I know I have. I'm just bad at remembering names, but the face, Tim's not a little dude, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, and I'm not saying he's like giant, but he looks about to me like he's damn near 6'2". So I mean, I'm guessing he's at least 180, 185, maybe 200. That's a badass to win in Superstock. That's not an easy task. So big shout out
one of his photos on Facebook is he's running Superstock. He's got work boots on. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome. So
I'm like, that is badass, man. Like those boys in work boots, getting it done too.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Getting it done. So shout out to Tim. Like I said, that's hard to do in Superstock. Pro Extreme, Chris Cutzinger beat Tommy Saxon. That was a heck of a final. Chris went a 396 with an 8, and Tommy was a 395.7. Call it a whole shot. Chris was 008 to a 114.
Dang.
There.
And Tommy was asleep.
And Tommy was good the round before too. He was 36. So
yeah.
Anyways, that was that. And
damn, I did not realize those guys are mile per hour.
Oh yeah,
Jesus, 188 in the 8th, y'all. Holy shit,
rocking, 100%. Pro Street B class is the only other class to finish, and it was cool because it's two people. I mean, I know even these guys weren't probably thrilled about it. You know, you want to make the big show, but Tony Fisher, known him for a long time, great racer, whether he's bracket racer or not. He's on his own pro charge bike now with help from plenty of people, but he's doing it at his pace and his way. It's just cool.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, by the final, Michael Sweeney, he run down A class ET. Jesus.
Well, I was getting there. Oh,
spoiler sorry. I'm sorry, but first round he did of it. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They figured something out from qualifying that first pass.
As Mr. 40 times said, Michael Sweeney Jr., they finally had his Pro Street bike out. Been working on it for a couple years now, slowly. They got small little man too, so it's life. But had that bad boy out. Only 2 qualifiers because of the weather, and they needed a little bit more time to get it figured out. But as Dustin said, they came around. First time out in the finals, 667, personal best, 215. So yeah, congrats to Michael and Tony. I know they both wanted to be in the A field, and I'm sure we'll see them both there soon. So congrats to them. Good weekend for both of them. And that was that. Pro Street will finish at the finals. It's going to be Jason Dunnigan and Rodney Williford.
Jason got lane choice.
Yep,
that's hard to do. Brother Rodney.
Jason beat his teammate Mark Rendeluck.
No.
Rendeluck.
I thought it. Yes.
Rendeluck.
No, it's Luke. Luke.
Damn, Mark, I don't know, man. We just always fighting it. I'm
pretty damn sure I've got this right. It's Rendeluck.
Mark Rendeluck. There we go.
Yeah, because I heard Fabian say it enough.
It's Rendeluck. Mark Rendeluck. All right.
It's Luke without an E.
Yep, we got it figured out. Anyways, Mark still killing it. Killing it. He's a rookie, y'all. He went a 643. He's normally he's on the tree usually. Something happened.
He must have been distracted, looked down or something to be that late.
Something messed him up. He was late. He was 003 the round before, just to let y'all know. He was 003, went 643. Next round, he comes back. Something messed up, something distracted him 100%. He still ran 643. He was just late. And what do you know? His teammate, Jason Dunnigan, 003. Whole shot win there.
I'm gonna tell you something. Them DME boys been laying the smack down the tree this year. They have been brutal between Jason and Mark in Pro Street on the tree. It has been like they are killing it.
Well,
like they're not messing.
The round before, so
I know but it's been this way all year.
Oh, yeah,
all year,
100%. And Mark was 019. Them boys are on it. Something happened there. We don't know what. We'll have to ask them. But man, the other semifinal. Y'all, if y'all missed it, then Kenny Brewer and Rodney. Rodney had some issues early on. Kenny was way out on him. I mean, everybody thought the race was over. And then about I don't know, probably, I guess it was probably about the 8th mile. I guess somewhere around the 8th mile, Kenny's bike, I think it missed a shift or went a little flat, and the puff of smoke came on 1,000 foot. And I know Rodney was on every button he had because he came back around. Kenny grenaded that bad boy. I mean, it was bad. But hey,
thanks, Kenny.
I know, but you got to think about it. Semifinals to go to the final in Pro Street, and you're racing the GOAT of Pro Street. I guarantee you, anybody in that other lane was going to.
I'd have blowed to some bitch up too.
Yeah, I would have 100%. Yeah. So. That was going to be Jason, Rodney in the final, and then Real Street finishing up.
Oh boy, wait! This final gonna be at Maryland. It's gonna be a good.
They already talking.
This is like
some money, a side pot on this, by the way.
Yeah,
we got our boy, the Amish Outlaw, Spencer Claycomb.
Number 1 and 2 qualifiers.
It seems like he's found his groove again in Real Street versus
that bike in Virginia, man. Like, I don't know what it is about his Real Street bike in Virginia, but it likes that place. I don't know what it is about it.
So we're looking forward to watching that final at Virginia, and I think they're going to finish. Yeah, they're going to finish 460 at Virginia, and I think that's it. So that was the race, y'all. That was the race. Been a sweet weekend for a lot of us. But hey, we had fun
with our friends, guys. Like, that was for sure. But you know, the reason you drive there is to race, and it just didn't get to, you know, you got to give me a few days before I get over it. It's going to take me a little bit.
I agree. So, but you said the main point: have fun, enjoy.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We did. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. We got to jump on the school call. Sorry, it was short. I'm working on an interview for next week. We won't say who. We got a couple people we've reached out to, so we're hoping to have an interview for y'all next week. A big giveaway, another big giveaway, and looking forward to that. So, last but not least, if you're not signed up, chance to win up to a $700 value next week, and give us feedback. Let us know what you think, or if you were left and didn't want to keep racing, want to split, or there and want to keep racing, let us know.
Yeah, am I a jerk? Am I a prick for saying that? I mean, what? I don't care, but I'm just saying, like, let me know.
Yeah, we're in the zone. So,
I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, we could have just, got our butt kicked and been out of the race and going home, I guess. But
yeah, we could have not had the chance to complain, bitch.
Yeah,
we lost first round.
Yeah, you're right.
So, anyways, we appreciate the support from everybody, from our sponsors. Love y'all. We got to go. We got a school.
Bye now.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you next week.